Okay, hello, Care Nation. This is your friend Dave Gadhvi, and we are with one very important guest today who's going to share in our lives that can build our personal and our professional life, take it to a next height. So please join me to welcome Lily, who has joined us today from Canada. Hey, Lily.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Care Nation. Super excited to be here.
Oh, excellent, excellent. We waited for this for almost more than a week now, so I think people who will be joining in pretty soon.
Awesome.
So, really, really excited to have you here, and thank you so much for taking the time and speaking with us today.
And thank you for having me on your channel.
Oh, pleasure is all ours. So, for people who don't know who Lily is a very good friend of Ivan Carmichael, and I'm sure people who've seen this show before. I think you know who Ivan is. I don't need to introduce him. He's the amazing author, coach, mentor, YouTuber, and speaker, social media expert. Written a book, amazing book. So this is what we're going to talk today, right? So Lily, why don't we do one thing? Why don't we I think I know you a little bit, on what you do and who you are. You have roots from India. You have special connection here. So why don't you just, give everybody a quick introduction on who you are and what we're going to discuss today?
Okay, perfect. I'll just do a quick overview. So, yes, originally I am from India. I'm from Calcutta. And I grew up there up to the age of 11, and I moved to Canada. And when I came to Canada, I wanted to live the, all Canadian dream. I wanted to go to university and get an education and become a corporate CEO. And that's the path that I took. So after I came out of school, I got a job right away in the corporate world. And it was great. I had a great time while I was doing it. And then pretty quickly, I started to fade a little bit. I started to find like there needs to be more than what I'm doing. I was working in the fashion industry and it was super fun and creative, but there needed to be more. And then as I was doing all of that, I became interested in dance classes. And I started doing dance classes. And then after doing dance class, I'm like, I really like this. And then I started teaching at a dance studio because at the time I was doing a lot of performances that caught the attention of a local dance studio. And I started teaching dance classes there. And Evan happened to be the owner of that dance studio. So that's how I met Evan. Mm-hmm. And then as we were going through as I was teaching the dance classes, I thought, wouldn't it be a great idea to start introducing life lessons and different personal development stuff as I was teaching dance. So I was teaching a lot of life lessons through dance classes. And that's how I became very interested in personal development. And then one thing led to another. I did a part-time for a while. And then eventually this summer, I decided to quit my corporate job and pursue this full-time. And this is where I'm at now.
That's exciting. Because you know why it's exciting for their people. So many people who are connected through this channel. Most of them they have their own job, and I think they are in the in the phase where you were, sometime back, wondering what to do. How can they move out of the rat race and do their own thing? So having somebody like you here, who's sharing the real insight is really, really valuable. So really appreciate. Thank you so much once again. Great. So, Lily, what can you tell us about this amazing book? For sure, it has 10x my hunger, my growth. It has helped me find my soul. What is it? One word which really uh, helps me to go non-stop after something which I really really like doing. So why don't we hear from you? What are your thoughts on one word? What is it about, and how anybody can go about using that one word, finding it to make their lives better and build their business as well.
Okay, I love it. 10x. I want to hear about your story as well, how you 10x'd your life after finding your one word. Oh. So with your one word, as you interviewed Evan last week, is that we believe that there is one single core value that is the most important in our life. And a lot of us can be doing more. Like you were saying, you know, a lot of your viewers want to get out of the rat race. It's like, how do I get out of it? Right? We have more potential than we are doing right now. So part of that is awareness. And finding your one word is basically finding who you are and what your most important core value is. And once you discover that, as you've been through the exercises yourself, you find out what are the things that make you happy, and you start to see the patterns in it. And you're like, wow, I actually want to create my life around it. And that's when you're going to see your job take off, your relationships take off, your businesses take off, and whatever else that's important to you.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So the interesting part about this is we always try and find purpose, what we want to do in life. And, there are multiple ways of people finding their life's purpose. To me, this helped me. Of course, I had purpose, but then how can you magnify that purpose and take it to a next level? So this book, the magic book, really helped me, right? So the first book which really helped me was 10X Rule by Grant Cardone, and I'm sure you might have, I don't know if you've read it, but amazing book. That really changed my mindset and made me realize how less I was doing in life. You know, I had potential bigger than what I was doing, and that realization, gave me a sense of purpose. That look, being in corporate world for almost 15 years, and despite of me doing good in corporate world, if this book made me realize that I'm doing so less in life, I'm sure there are millions of other people who are in the same mindset, with average mindset and living comfortably. So I said, I found my purpose now, right? So then I started all these channels, blogging, and reaching out to people, learning from them, following Ivan's lot of videos. Big fan of Ivan. And then I started studying Grant Cardone, Gary Vaynerchuk, Tony Robbins, and started inculcating those things in my life. That was the first thing which happened to me. The second thing which really, really happened to me was this book, and this book made me realize that I have a purpose, and I want to help 10 million people. I already had that. But what is one thing which can actually help me bound everything together? I was all over the places. So I was like, I want to give more. I want to help more people. I want to serve people. But this book made me realize that the word which is the most important and effective in my life was care, right? Because it comes from my personal life, and that's how I've been. I usually care for others, and probably it comes because of my father. We usually try and connect with people who we see and admire, and we grow up, right? So my dad was really, really caring person, and he would go out of the way to help others, especially in our village and relatives. Whenever he'll come, everybody would come running to see him, and that's how I remember my dad's memories when he was alive. He was caring for others. Even if he doesn't have a lot of money, he will give whatever he has in his pocket to the poor and needy. So that one word really changed the focus that I had on my campaign and my purpose. It actually blew up my activity level. So then that's where the Care Nation happened, right? So thanks to Ivan and this amazing book. Then I build the Care Nation, and we are taking this to the next level. And thanks to you and Ivan, everybody who is here, who's helping us, making us realize what it is to realize your one word and what can it do. So great, Lily. So
Okay.
yeah, sorry, you want to add something?
So it's interesting that you mentioned that. My one word is extraordinary, and that actually comes from my dad as well. Right. So my dad, we came from India. We were really poor. We came to Canada with just a couple of $100 in our pockets. And he was able to create a great life for me and my mom, just based on just like hard work and kind of an ordinary man, right? Coming from India with not a lot of money and doing extraordinary things. So yeah, it's interesting that you brought up your dad, because my one word comes from my dad too. So that's nice. And the second part to it is you're mentioning now I found my purpose, right? So the biggest thing is people are like, I need to find my purpose. You found your purpose. What now? Yeah. Is that the part you're talking about? Yeah. What now? Okay. I have this big goal. What do I do? And finding your one word is is the awareness that you require. So for example, for you, care. Care is you realize, wow, my purpose is care, and I want to go out there and help 10 million people. That's what I want to do. But how do I do that?
Yeah.
So first is the awareness, and second thing is actually taking action. And taking action would be you creating an environment that is care. How are you interacting with your YouTube viewers? You know, are they feeling care?
Yeah, makes sense.
How are all your blog posts? Do I feel like I'm being cared for when I read your blogs?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Every phone call that you make, do I feel like I'm being cared for?
Yeah, for sure.
So it's every interaction, and it's also relates to other parts of your life as well. You know, you mentioned that you have a significant other, you have a spouse. You know, how can I involve her in care? You know, does she feel like she's cared for when I'm around? So that part is really, first is awareness, and then is holding yourself accountable. You have to now not only talk about your one word, but you got to walk your talk too. So that's where the action comes in.
Yeah, I think it's a beautiful point. Dreams don't work unless you do, right? So I think the same formula which you shared with us is, unless you take action, and that everything that is your word, whatever you're doing, if it is not revolving around that, that means you would not move from 0 to 1. So yeah, beautiful point, beautiful point. So how would people identify their one word? What is it that they should do?
What do they should do? So it depends on the person. I mean, some people are very self-aware. Immediately when you talk to them, they know what they stand for. And then others, it might take a little bit of digging, right? So myself, when I first discovered my one word, it took a lot of digging. So I went through the exercises. The first exercises you could go through is, what are the things that make you happy?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you can make a list of things that make you happy. You know, your favorite movie, your favorite teacher, your best friend, your spouse. The questions don't matter as much. It's more to do with what are a list of things that make you absolutely happy. And then once you make a list of all of that, you see there's a pattern. You know, my favorite movie. So what is your favorite movie, Dev?
Oh, it's a Bollywood movie.
Try me.
Yeah, it's Rang De Basanti. It's
Okay.
So it's a story of the youngsters who actually come together, and then they try to they had no purpose in their life, but just one incident that actually changes their life, and then they all stand together for something good, and they try to fight for that. So yeah, that was my one favorite movie.
Okay. And then when you went through the exercises, what other questions did you answer?
So I wrote down, what is my favorite movie. I said, what is it, that I really um, enjoy, and all those things. What do I stand for? I don't. So these are some of the questions. So my movies, songs, uh, how do I interact with others, or how do I want people to treat me? All those things, these questions actually led me. And then what is it that I learned from my family, my dad, and I started searching, what do I really want to do? All those questions actually came to my mind.
Right. And then you saw a pattern amongst your favorite movie in combination with your dad, in combination with, what you stand for, and then care kind of came in place. And for some people, the process could be a lot longer. It could be that they might have, if you were like me, you had like 30 words, and how do you pare it down? So you start to circle words that keep coming up, and for you, were there more words that came up besides care?
Oh yeah, many words came out. So help was one of them. Give was one of them. Serve was one of them. So I was learning serving, because I want to give back to the world, give back to the community, whatever I've learned, I want to share. So these are some of the prominent words, and then of course care was one of them. But then care
Right.
clearly stood out.
Yeah. And then a lot of the words that you mentioned, they're all very related. It's very similar. So
Yes.
that's what a lot of people find in my experience when I'm coaching through my consulting business, or when I'm going through the workshops, they're somewhat related. So for your viewers watching, if you feel like, oh my goodness, there's so many words that I believe in or that I stand for, but maybe they're all related in some way. And there's always a pattern.
Yes, yes, absolutely, absolutely. There was a clear pattern, I think, yeah, yeah. Yeah, this book really helped me, clarify my thoughts, which is the one word which I stand for the most and which represents me as a human being and my thought process. Uh, yeah, so that one would really help. Um, and I think one more, the biggest learning that I had from this book was what would this one word do for you? So if you want to share your thoughts, maybe then I'll share what is done for me. What is it that one word would do for you in your personal life and in your business life? So do you want to share some thoughts?
Of course, in my personal experience, so when I discovered my one word, extraordinary, right? I was like exhilarated. I was like, I cannot, but this is what I stand for. Like I had like goosebumps everywhere. I'm like, this is what I'm going to do. I am going to be the superhero of the world. I'm going to be extraordinary. And like anything, you're on this extreme high because you have found something that you really stand for. The next step was walking the talk. Now I had to actually live extraordinary every single day. It's like, how does that even look like? And at one point it was really exciting, but at the same time, like I said to you before, it's being accountable. It's like a lot of the things I was doing, I was not being extraordinary. I was taking the easy way out. I was not out there living my dream. I was not doing things. Not all my interactions were extraordinary. Everything was pretty ordinary. So just catching myself ever so often, it's like, am I doing this? Am I doing this properly? Right? So it hurts too, because there's like a harsh mirror looking back at you. You're like, this is what you're about. You're about extraordinary, but you're not being extraordinary right now. So that's how it's affected my life. And it's a daily reset for me. So every day, I feel great right now. I feel extraordinary. I'm on this call. I'm going to leave. I go home. I wake up like everybody else. It's like, and then I have to reset my day. And part of it is creating an environment for me that will support what I believe in. So every day is about walking the talk.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, if somebody is visual, then what helps is having your one word at the center of your life, and everything around, surrounds everything. Every part of your life surrounds that one word. So you rightly mentioned that your word is extraordinary, and for me it's care, right? So my care is at center. So whatever I'm doing, my family, my business, people I want to interact with, places where I want to go, anything that I want to do, I think revolves around that one word of mine. So I think that has really helped me to decide, what kind of life I want to live. I want to always care. I want to only deal with people who really care for others, and that's how I attract those kind of like-minded people. So yeah, that's how it has actually helped me to have that one word.
Yeah, and like you said, it's great. It's a filter that you use, right? You reflect back if you have a business. Like, are there certain people that you want to deal with if they're not about care, right? They're like, well, I don't care about people. This is what I'm all about. You use that as a filter to attract the right kind of people, so that way your life is the most fulfilling.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. One more question that I had, and hey guys, if you guys are watching on YouTube and if you have any question for Lily, brilliant Lily, please share, feel free to share the question in the comment box, and we'll be happy to get that answer from you, from Lily. So Lily, I think when you were working and when you came out of that work zone, did you feel somewhere being disappointed, and did you feel like, hey, I'm not doing what I'm doing or what I love doing. And so what is that one life-changing moment, if I may ask, that made you quit the job and do your own thing?
I would I would say that it wasn't one particular moment, right? It's many moments leading up to it. It just when you know that there is something else that you should be doing, every day becomes a little bit harder to go into work and doing the same job over and over again. So it was a combination of all of that. And to top it all off, I had a very good job and I had a good environment.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I had a really good environment. I enjoyed the people I worked with. So I didn't have it's not like I had a terrible job that I hated, that it was so easy for me to leave. So I was at my company for 12 years. So similar to you said 15 years, right? For you, being in that corporate world.
Yeah.
So it was actually really difficult for me to leave it, but I had to look at what's on the other side. What is the other side? How am I going to live my life if I did leave my job, right? For me, it's not only for me to be an extraordinary person, it's also to encourage other people to be extraordinary and live the life that they want. And I can't do that at my current job. So that was a decision that I had to make for myself. And when I sat down to think about that, it actually took a few seconds. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do it.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And also, there's another piece to that as well. The moment was also, it's when Evan came and then he actually offered me a position. He's like, hey, you're going to do this full time. You've been doing this part time. I'm going to give you an opportunity to do this full time. And that's when I took him up on the opportunity. I could have easily said no and just say, you know what, it's too much of a risk. I don't know if this is going to work. But, I took a giant leap of faith with him. I was like, you know what, it's going to work out. And I believe that this is going to be a good thing for both of us.
Great. Excellent. So how are you helping the entrepreneurs or anybody, if they want help? So what is the way? How do you engage with them? And if they have to, if you have to list down, okay, these are the things which you would help them uncover or help them get better at their personal professional life. So what would those be if somebody has to engage with you?
Like in terms of the platforms that I use, or in terms of?
Yeah, the content and platform, both.
The content. Well, originally it was a lot of one-on-one and through my workshops based out of Toronto. And then recently I moved on to doing a lot of Google Hangouts. So a lot of the platforms that I use is just having one-on-one coaching online, like what we're doing right now, but on a private basis. And that has helped me reach more entrepreneur globally. And each person is very different. Their needs are quite different. And I just kind of guide them and assist them however they feel is suitable for them.
Great. Fantastic. Great. So I think, we have a few questions already from the Care Nation.
Awesome. Let's see.
All right, let's see. So J. Reyes, I hope I'm pronouncing it right.
J. Reyes in the house. All right.
J. Reyes. So his question is, isn't it possible that someone's one word requires a hard journey to uncover and can't be revealed through talking?
Is it possible that sorry, say that again?
Yes. Is it possible that someone's one word requires a hard journey to uncover it, than just relying on talking and finding the one word?
Oh yes, of course. I mean, different people discover the one word in different ways, and all ways are possible. Right? Some people said, I went and I took a nap and I woke up and I'm for this word. Some people, the journey is a lot harder. Maybe they associate that with a trauma that they went through in their life, or, some people, it might be a story that they're not willing to share, but they know there's something behind it. Your one word, it doesn't matter how you find it. It just has to be powerful enough for you to actually make a change and take action.
Oh, yeah. That completely makes sense, for sure. Great. So next question comes from Dipain. Depends says, how do you break your comfort zone when you have a good job and you're doing good there by all means?
So how do you get out of your comfort zone
Yes.
at your,
Yeah, at your job, current job, and when everything is going well, how do you come out of your comfort zone?
how do you come out of your comfort zone? Well, first, the question I would ask, what's the person's name? Detain?
Depend.
Detain. So the first question that I would ask Detain is, what is your comfort zone? You know, this person's asking this question because they actually want to get outside of their comfort zone, right? I'm assuming. Some people are perfectly comfortable with what they're doing, and that's perfectly fine. We don't need to talk about that. But if you actually want to break outside of your comfort zone and everything is just good, again, it is through the lens of your one word, if you want to talk about, right? There's always room to grow, and there's always something that you can do more. So an example of breaking outside of your comfort zone right now. So what have you done recently, Dev, that you have broke out of your comfort zone?
Ooh, well, I'm on a 90-day body transformation program. I know I was comfortable.
90-day body transformation program. Okay.
So yeah, I was way too comfortable in my life. So I always wanted to have a great physique, have six packs. so so
Nice.
so it's not easy to come out and stick to the diet. So I've already completed 60 days on a very strict, high protein, less carbohydrates diet. So, and going to gym every single day. And I remember when I was visiting my hometown in Gujarat, and I told them I'm on a diet. I am not supposed to eat so and so thing. And even if I went to village, I carried my tiffin there, so people were really surprised. I know. They were like, okay, I think this guy has gone crazy. You already thin, you already slim. Why do you want to lose weight? Why do you have diet? I said, no, I'm a different program. You'll understand later. So, and then going to gym every single day, morning, whether you like it or not. That is something which I've done to come out of the comfort zone.
Awesome. So yeah, it's a lot more comfortable just to lie on your couch and just eat lots of delicious Indian food, right?
Yeah.
But you have a goal, and your goal is to be very physically fit. Why is it your goal to be so physically fit besides the physical appearance of it?
Oh, for me, look, I want to inspire people, right? I want to inspire 10 million people. So I don't want to just inspire them just about how to get ahead in financial world, or from a business standpoint. I want to inspire them from the health standpoint and from the family standpoint. So I can only inspire them and help them to realize the importance of having best of all is when I have best of all, right? So I don't want to do anything which is mediocre. I don't want to do anything which is average, because 10x is the way of living.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I said, hey, look, I want to do it, if not for me, not just for myself, but for everybody who is watching, because I care for them, right? I care for them to come out of their comfort zone and get inspiration. And I want somebody to look up to me and say, hey, that guy's perfect. I want to be somebody like him. So if I have to become somebody that people want to admire and follow, I need to take the responsibility and do more.
Amazing. And I'm glad you shared that story about something further than just getting a six-pack, right? So if you just want a six-pack, maybe some days you're like, it's okay, I'll just put on a shirt and just go and lie on a couch. I don't need a six-pack. But if your goal is to inspire people through your actions, it makes it a lot harder and the stakes a lot higher for you than just to like, okay, I'm going to go and I'll eat the delicious food. I'm not going to pack my tiffin anymore.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So for Dethane, the thing is to get outside of your comfort zone is uncomfortable. But if you look at on the opposite side, which is the pain of it, the pain would be if you did not work out regularly, didn't go to the gym regularly. The pain of that is now you cannot inspire all these people. The pain of that would be that you're not going to reach your goal of 10 million people that you're going to help, because you have decided not to take action yourself. So I find that when you look at the pain of it and what it means not to actually do the things that is a little bit uncomfortable for you is the strong motivator for most people.
True. I think that's a brilliant point, and you're absolutely right. When we include our goal with giving back to the world, and when that becomes a driving force, then yeah, you truly become unstoppable. So yeah, so great. What about you? I want to know, what is it that you've done of late to come out of your comfort zone?
Well, right now, this event right now, right
Really?
now.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, you look
So
very
I have
comfortable to
done
me. You look very comfortable. It seems that you've been
in
doing this for many, many years.
inside, it's all there. No, actually, so this, for me to do a live event on YouTube is completely stepping outside of my comfort zone. I do really well one-on-one, and I do really well in a live audience situation, but this is completely different. So for me to, this is me stepping outside of my comfort zone completely. But it's one of my goals to go out there and reach more people and encourage people to be extraordinary. And then I have to show up and do the extraordinary. And it's not every day that I do this. So there you go.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. And I really respect the honesty that you have. You did not look even little bit of nervous, not even teeny bit. So yeah, it's a great thing. Excellent. So Ivan's question is, how is it working with Ivan? He's saying that he heard that Ivan is really great.
Evan's on the chat. Okay, what's his question?
No, he's just joking, I think. He was okay. So his question was, so for Lily, what is your favorite part about working with Evan? And then he said that I heard he's great.
What's my favorite? I didn't catch that
Yeah,
part.
favorite,
What's my favorite part
yes,
of?
of working with Evan.
There are too many. There are too many favorite things.
Okay.
My favorite part about working with Evan is, so first of all, I actually physically work near Evan. I live really far away from the city. It takes me about 2 hours to get in to his home office to actually work with him. And I had the option of just working completely remotely from my own house, but I decided that I'm going to go into the city and travel 2 hours each way to be physically near him. And the reason for that is that he exudes a lot of belief in people. As you can tell, his one word is believe. And also, and a lot of times we're not even talking to each other, we're just working on our projects, but there's something he creates an environment that I can actually go out there and do things and have the confidence. So I think my favorite part working with Evan is just that he has unshakable amount of belief in me, even the times that I don't. Like, there are times I'm like, I don't know if I could do this live event. I don't know what's going to happen, right? And he's like, no, you can do it. This is going to be great. So that's my favorite part of working with him.
Awesome. Yeah, I love his one word, belief. That's amazing. Great. I think we have a couple of more questions, and hope you're doing good with your time. Do you have a few more minutes?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, great. So, all right. So this question comes from Makran. We call him Mac. So Mac is
all right.
over the years, when we started achieving new milestones and our inspiration and values find new meaning, can we reset and revise our one word then? So he's saying that, okay, working over the period of time, a lot of milestone changes, values changes, all the inspiration and values find new meaning. So can we reset that one word, or is it like that's about it and stays with you forever?
Yeah, I mean, of course, like we grow as people and things change, and a lot of things that we do may change, but your one word is basically who you are. This is what you believe in. For example, for you, that your favorite movie that you saw, that you mentioned earlier, is always going to be your favorite movie. If you watch it 10 years later, it's always going to be your favorite movie. What you loved about your dad, about being care, you will always cherish that about your dad. Sure. So it's who you are, and everything else. Today you're doing your business is doing YouTube videos. Maybe 10 years from now it might be something else, but doesn't make it any different how much you care.
Yeah.
and how care is your one word. For me, I'm doing this today. I could, maybe one day I'll be writing books, but it won't make a difference in what extraordinary means to me. So for the person, Mac
Yeah.
who asked that question,
Yeah.
when you're finding your one word, take some time and really ask yourself the question that, is this who I am, or is this someone I am temporarily, or someone I want to be for someone? And I think when you ask yourself that question, you'll figure that one word is a permanent thing for someone.
Yeah, most definitely, and I agree. So Mac, just go out there and get this book, and I think you will get to know more things. So, amazing. All right, so next question comes from Kishan, and Kishan has basically two questions. First is how to achieve target in short time.
How to achieve target in a short time. So which target are you
I think probably he's
saying?
referring to specific goals, what he has probably said.
Specific goals. Okay, awesome. Okay, well, different people have different goals. So for example, maybe your goal is to grow your YouTube channel, for example, for you, since we're working on YouTube. So the fastest way to get there is to see people who are doing the same things as you want to accomplish. So in other words, who in your industry is doing the best work in YouTube, for example, and look at them and look at their journey and look at their path and see what the things that they have done. And then that way you could actually fast track your process, modeling after them versus trying to figure everything out on your own. So that way you could kind of cut through all the trial and errors and all the mistakes, unnecessary mistakes that you could possibly make, and then you could get to your target a lot faster that way.
Yeah, for sure. And one other way is just stick to Evan's all the videos and implement them in your life. You will reduce your 10
Yeah,
years.
I think he puts out some good videos.
No, he's posting amazing videos. It really keeps me. I was watching one of those videos, and on the lines that you just mentioned, same thing. Tony Robbins, he said the same thing at the age of I think 12 or 13, when he started interviewing people. The sports people and all. He really learned a lot working with those people. Because of that, he got in touch with different coaches and people who really inspired him. And he's a big advocate that find people who are much ahead of their curve, and learn from them so that you can reduce your learning cycle. Why do you want to go and turn your months into years by doing things by yourself? Why don't you learn from what people are doing and just implement that, and you will reduce your cycle of achievement. So yeah, great inputs, Lily. Second
Exactly.
question, I think this is the last question which we're going to take, because I think we've taken a lot of Lily's time. So last question, okay. All right, so one more question from Deepain. Deepain says,
Okay.
how to minimize the gap between knowing and actually doing it?
Okay, sorry. So Deepain said how to minimize the gap between
Knowing and actually doing it. So from knowing to taking action or implementing it.
Okay, it's the same thing that we spoke about. So we'll use the example of your one word, right? So you know this is what you want to do. This is your purpose. This is what you want to do. And the second part to that is, how are you going to take action towards it? And there's a part in the book as well that we talk about the campaign section, which is later on. And there's a section for the credo. So for example, care for you, how does it break down for you? So hashtag care. So what do I need to do to actually have care?
Yeah. What do I need to have care?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I need to go out there and start helping people, which make them realize that I do care. So, take more activities, do more blogging, YouTubing, reaching out to people. So I even reached out to a lot of street vendors just to motivate them, and bought all their stuff. There's just to inspire other people and make them feel that, okay, there are people who care for street vendors and yeah, bring smile to their face. So to me, if I have to care for somebody, just go out there and show it.
Yeah, and that's exactly it, right? So there is, so you know that care is your one word. So knowing is great, but now you're going out there and doing it. So for Deepain, you know, whatever it is that you want to do, there's actions that you need to take. Like, for example, you don't have to go and approach street vendors if you didn't want to, but you're like, if I don't do it, means that I'm not showing my care. I'm not taking action towards my purpose. My purpose is to help people. And these are the things that I need to do. So first is knowing, and then the second thing to do is just take a reflection in all aspects of your life and find out what are you not doing and what can you do better to live your purpose.
Awesome, awesome. I just love it. I just love it. Great. So Lily, it is amazing, amazing, knowing you and your thoughts. You're an amazing person. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
taking the time on behalf of all the Care Nation. Um, how can people reach you? Where can people find you on social media? Where are you to be found mostly?
Okay, because right now I am hanging out in, so Facebook, you could find me Lily under my name, Lily Ma. I have a Twitter, it's Lily Ma Inc. And also Instagram, Lily Ma Inc. And I also I'm a guest, I can't speak. I'm a guest on Evan Carmichael's channel as well. So you could catch a lot of my videos there. And I also have a series there called Unlocking Lily on Evan Carmichael's channel. So if you want to check out my journey and the things I've been doing, you can find me there as well.
Awesome, awesome. So for people who are a little lazy to search, I'm going to leave the links in the description below so that you can reach out to Lily just by one click, okay? But I highly recommend that you hang around with people who are hungry for success, who are extraordinary, if you have to put it in your way. It's important to stick around and hang around with those extraordinary people. And for sure, Lily is definitely one of them. So yeah, Lily, thank you so much one more time. And stay connected, keep inspiring many people, and stay extraordinary.
Yeah, I want to take this moment to acknowledge you and thank you, Dev, for giving me this opportunity and showing the care. And last week, we spoke on the phone. I don't know what time it was in India when you took the call, so that actually made me feel that you cared. So thank you for your care as well, Dev.
Oh, pleasure is all mine, and pleasure is all of Care Nation. Thank you for your great, great, valuable inputs. I hope you have a wonderful day ahead.
All right, thank you so much, Care Nation.
Thank you. Bye bye.